All right? So, again, turn and prepare for the questions, but Honorable Kalonzo now is on the floor to respond to his questions. Over to you, Your Excellency.
The first question, I thank you, because you only forgot when you praised the performance under President Kibaki that yours truly was the vice president. So I claim a little bit. And we grew the GDP, the gross domestic product of this economy was nearly a double digit. By the time Kibaki left office, we were close to between 7 and 8% of GDP. Since that time, things have gone higher. Now it's even worse. And so our number one objective will be to transform the economy. Every Kenyan knows there's a terrible problem with the debt burden. Every Kenyan who is born today, wherever they are born with a debt burden. And that is what we must alleviate by, for example, renegotiating our debt commitments the world over. If you had a government that is listened to internationally, then you will be able to reduce the debt burden. But right now, the opposite is happening. We've just been addressing a press conference where we are saying that under the infrastructure fund bill, which we are saying, even as you in this festival should express your opinions, we have said that this is another avenue for growing the public debt. And the worst bit about it is they are doing it outside of the framework, the legal and the constitutional framework. Because all the monies that get raised through taxation and other revenues goes to the consolidated fund. Now the William Ruto administration is seeking to create another avenue which will not be subject to parliamentary approval or oversight. Now, therefore, creating room for greater corruption and a further erosion of the economic growth of this country. Our friend on the other side, I will not talk about Ken because he's only worried about opposition unity. And he didn't ask a question, so you ask him a question after this. But the wonderful lady is concerned about job creation. Now, if you have a government that listens to the people, a government that believes in the rule of law, and a government that has proper international recognition. You know, I personally believe with these young people should be citizens not just of Kenya, but the whole world. But first of all, we must set conditions right for you. Some of you may remember I sat in a commission called the National Dialogue Committee. And we receive evidence that over 6,000 companies registered in Kenya actually translocated to Tanzania, to Uganda, to Rwanda. The effect of that is we are losing those jobs. And yet, you have heard from my brother Rigiji that 70% of you are young people. You're going through high school. Of course, never mind the confusion with the CBC and stuff. Yeah, never mind that. But at least you go out to the job market. You need a growing economy. Therefore, this question is interrelated with the other person's question. You cannot create those job opportunities if you have a country that is dysfunctional, if you have a parliament that is captured and will never talk for you, if you have a judiciary that cannot quickly do things. And I'm not here criticizing the judiciary because as we speak, it is the only last line of defense that we have as a country. Because parliament is state capture. The leaders are all compromised. What you have is a cartel leading a whole nation called Kenya. Therefore, we will have to do something very specific, improve on manufacturing sector. Investors will come to invest here and then, do serious business. When we have reduced cost of electricity, for example, the reduced cost of doing business, so that within, I don't know whether you know, young lady, that Kenya is a member of COMESA, which is Kenya Common Market for Southern and Eastern Africa, and amongst its members a country called Egypt. The cost of production of goods in Egypt is a lot lower than here. So a lot of investors choose to go and set up industries. Well, they should be setting up industries here in our country. We will deliberately make it a policy to attract foreign investment, to create industries so that our young people leaving universities and other places will find employment opportunities. But this is part of the conversation. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. 2 questions for Honorable rigathigachagua, please.
Yes.
A lady, a man.
There is a lady here.
Thank you.
Who has a
Proceed.
question.
And then